Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my series, The Lost Castles of Essex. In this one, I've driven just a short drive, 5 miles down the road to Shoebury-in-Ess to visit a place known locally as the Danish Camp. Now, Danish Camp is an Iron Age fort. You're probably wondering why it's called Danish Camp, more on that later. But it's located in a housing estate called the Garrison, which actually used to be an actual garrison, and the housing estate is built on it. We're not going into that today. It's all about the fort called Danish Camp, and let's go and take a look.
Danish Camp is an Iron Age fortified settlement in Shoebury-in-Ess, Essex. It is a scheduled monument under the Ancient Monuments and Archaeological Areas Act 1979, list number 1017206. The site is in Gunners Park and the Shoebury Ranges Nature Reserve, which is managed by Essex Wildlife Trust. The site is classified by Natural England as a slight univalate hill fort. There are 2 sections remaining of the defensive banks of the settlement. The surviving part of the northwestern bank is around 80 metres long and has an average height of 2 metres and width of 11 metres. The southern bank is slightly lower. There is an external ditch which is now largely filled. Pottery vessels have been found dating to the Middle Iron Age, around 400 to 200 years BC, together with 4 roundhouses and many post holes and pits. There is some evidence of early Mesolithic and Bronze Age occupation, but as this extends beyond the site, it is thought to represent general utilisation of the area. The site was agricultural land until it was purchased by the Board of Ordnance in 1849, and some of the visible Iron Age remains were probably lost at that time, while other parts have been lost to coastal erosion. There is also evidence of Roman occupation in the southwest corner. The site is called the Danish Camp because it was thought to have been constructed by the Danish Viking leader Hastan, who was reported by the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle to have built a fort at Shoebury in 894. They might have used the existing camp. No evidence has been found of Viking occupation. I'm now going to read the extract from the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which mentions Hastan and his Viking band fortifying a part of Shoebury. The king then went westward with the army toward Exeter, as I before said, and the army had beset the city. But whilst he was gone, they went to their ships. Whilst he was thus busied, there with the army in the west, the marauding parties were both gathered together at Shoebury in Essex, and there built a fortress. Then they both went together up by the Thames, and a great concourse joined them, both from the East Angles and from the Northumbrians. With the site of Danish Camp being where it is so close to the East Beach area of Shoebury, it would make sense for Hastings Camp to be in there for his longboats to shored in the estuary.
Well, that was the site of Danish Camp, the Iron Age fort. I have been here before, and it was a lot less overgrown. I really wish I'd filmed then rather than now. You could actually see the outline of the walls that are left behind. It's very frustrating. It's now just a mess of weeds. Not very well maintained, so it is actually a scheduled monument and heritage site, but hey ho. It is what it is. So hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching, and see you next week for episode 3 of The Lost Castles of Essex.